と通訳の伊藤様です。よろしくお願いいたします。こんにちは。ありがとう。
I was actually in education. I was a language teacher and communications trainer, and I didn't like the direction my work was going, so I wanted a complete change. Talking to some friends one day, we just decided to buy a building that was empty and turn it into a tea shop. I always start the day with something strong because I find it gets me going, but I usually like a strong tea that will take some milk, because when you're very empty in the morning, I think it's nice to have something that fills you up a little bit. Even in China, in Yunnan province, where they drink pu'er, where they make pu'er, for breakfast they have hot milk in their pu'er tea or cold milk in their pu'er tea, because you just need something to fill you up. So that's my morning habit. As the day goes on, I tend to drink lighter teas, so greens or whites or oolongs. But if I'm having afternoon tea with cakes and sandwiches and quite sweet things, then I really love Ceylon. A really lovely golden, bright, brisk Ceylon goes beautifully with afternoon tea foods. It goes well with the savoury things, it goes well with the scones, it goes well with the cakes, so it goes well with fruit. So it's a perfect afternoon tea for me. Yes, sure. I think a lot of people these days are looking for organic. People are very conscious of things that pollute our bodies, and so they want to eat and drink clean things. I think with tea, a lot of tea is so high grown that it's actually quite organic anyway. But I absolutely understand why people would want to know by certification that their teas have actually been grown without anything being put onto the plants. I don't know whether that trend will become any bigger or more important, but I perfectly understand that there are some who really think about that and others that don't. As far as fair trade and fairly traded teas are concerned, I think in general, in most countries, tea has always had a very ethical background. Mainly in the countries where the British first set up the tea plantations, we had to provide housing for our workers because we imported them from other places. So it was only right that we gave them somewhere to live, gave them allowances for food. Gradually over the centuries that's got better, and we now make sure that we try to make sure they have clean water and sanitation and other things that make their lives more comfortable. And I think on both the very big scale and the much smaller scale now, a lot of tea companies are working very, very hard to give something back. And that falls under several different labels. Fair trade as a brand tries to give money back to the workers. Quite a number of tea companies that are not actually members of fair trade actually make sure they do trade their teas very fairly by saying, okay, 10% of my profits are going to this particular village, because then they feel they can have a relationship with that plantation or that village. I know a lot of tea companies who do that, and that's great, and it means that you've got a tangible result that you can check, that you can see where the money's gone. Of course, there are lots of other organisations now, Rainforest Alliance and UTS and various other organisations, all really with very much the same goal, to make sure that we source our teas and pack our teas and sell our teas ethically. And I think that's wonderful about tea. And I think tea has a very special quality about it. It's got a very special message. It brings a lot of goodness to people's lives, and with the fair trading of tea, it's adding something extra as well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, and thank you for your time during your busy schedule in Japan, and I hope the rest of your trip goes very well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.